This is the plaintiff, Adam Campbell. He says he brought his car to the defendant's shop for an alignment, and the shoddy businessman ripped him off. The cost of the alignment was $20 per tire. He only aligned 2 tires and charged him for 4, so he's here in the name of justice, suing for the $40 he was overcharged. This is the defendant, Antonio Castillo. He says the plaintiff came in for an alignment, and that's what he did for him. All 4 tires are affected by an alignment, and he was charged $80. He paid, and he left. Now he's suing him for $40? No way is he refunding any money, because he did what he was hired to do. He's accused of being crooked.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff says the defendant ripped him off in aligning his tires. But the defendant says, not guilty. It's the case of your align ain't fine.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay, Adam Campbell, you are suing HC National Tire Corporation, represented here by Antonio Castillo. You're the owner. Okay, for $40. All righty. For $40, because according to you, they overcharged you on a wheel alignment. Talk to me.
Well, I purchased the car in late September, and then my mechanic go over it. Said the car was basically a new car, had like 10,000 miles on it. So I took it to the shop, National Tire, to get a wheel alignment and wheel balance. When I walked in, I asked them how much was it. They told me $100. I said, well, the car is brand new, practically brand new. How much would you charge me?
It's a 2008, it's 2010, right?
Corolla, yes.
Right, okay.
I said, well, if it doesn't need balancing and alignment, how much would you charge me? He said, well, we only charge you for the balancing, and if it needs wheel alignment, we'll charge you for that. So I said, okay. They pulled all 4 tires. Only 2 needed to be balanced. They put it back on. They pulled the car in the shop, put it on the lift. I went to get a cup of coffee and play the lottery. I came back 10 minutes later. They were
How much did you play on the lotto?
About $10.
Okay, go ahead.
They pulled the car down, so I figured it didn't need wheel alignment because I've been there before in the past, and the wheel alignment takes about 30, 45 minutes. I asked him, well, what happened? He said, well, we did the work. So I went back into the office to tell the guy behind the counter the guy didn't do the wheel alignment.
Based on what were you basing that? On the fact that what? It was too quick?
The time. It was
Okay.
way too quick for a wheel alignment.
Okay.
He went outside to talk to the guy that did the work. He was sitting in the car. They got into a conversation about what they did. And I don't know what they said because they were talking in Spanish. The one in the car that did the work had said something, and he said 40, which means $40. I take it that he said charge him 40 and be done with it. I went back inside. The other guy came back in, and he's questioning me like, what?
Are any of the guys here that you're talking about?
No, not that I.
Okay, did either of you speak with him?
I didn't speak with him. I'm the owner.
Did you speak with him?
No, I didn't speak with him.
Okay, so go on.
He was looking at me like, what are you still doing here? I said, well, according to the wheel alignment chart that you gave me, I don't understand what you did. The numbers are the same.
May I see the chart? What do you mean the numbers are the same? If I look at initial and I look at final,
When you look at the
there's a
initial,
difference.
when they put these things on the wheels, they spin kind of sort of. The initial readings are in between the parameters of what the car should be in the middle column. The end result is what, after the test is done, I would imagine, that's what the readings would be. So I said, well, these numbers, the initial and the ending, are virtually the same. He said, well, no, there's 2 of them that went to 0. I said, but yeah, but the initial numbers were within range and didn't need anything. So what did you do?
What is your response to that? That where the
Yeah.
initials are within? What's your response?
You know, front and toe is what you're going to look at, and then front toe and left. If you look at it, it was 10 degrees, which is at the maximum spec, and the right toe was at negative 10 degrees, which is at the minimum spec.
Right.
So
you put it
so
in
the
0.
the left wheel was minimum spec in, the right wheel was maximum spec out.
I got it.
On the line. So you need to bring the right wheel back to the middle, which is 0, and the left wheel over to the middle,
How do
which
you
is
bring
0.
it back to, what is it you guys do?
A wheel alignment is basically adjusting the vehicle so that all wheels are parallel and pointing straight
So that
ahead.
if I let go, I go straight. So long as
Generally-
the street is straight.
Exactly, as
If
long
I
as the street
let
is
go,
straight.
I go straight and I don't start pulling to one side.
Your car shouldn't pull to one side or
Right.
the other. Your car should travel freely, yes.
Okay. Now,
So the tires aren't fighting each other.
physically, how do you align a wheel? What is it?
The way you will align a car in the front or the back, it varies. So most vehicles have adjustments in the front and the rear, and that's why it's called a four-wheel alignment. Generally, you start in the rear. So whenever you're going to align a vehicle, you don't go right to the front and align the front. You adjust the rear, you adjust what's called the thrust line, and once you adjust the thrust line and point the vehicle straight forward in the back, then
How do you do that?
the back, usually on most cars, the back will have a circular adjustment on the
So
axle
you just
or
keep playing with it,
on
or
the
there's
spindle.
specs. The car will have specs where.
Exactly.
But do you
It's
actually,
a
when you
circular
play
adjustment.
with it, do you see the spec?
Yes.
Like it,
Yeah, you can see there's little notches on
Little
some
notches
cars.
that
There's little
tell- okay.
notches, so you move them, and you can see physically. It's actually.
this is like a well-guarded secret. If
It's
any of
not
us
at
knew it
all.
was
It's
that,
very easy.
I'd get on my kid's skateboard and go. Okay.
Okay. Generally, are auto repair shops reputable or not?
I think it's a ripoff.
You think they're ripoffs?
Usually,
Why?
I don't know. I just don't trust people.
You don't trust people generally, so it's not auto repair shops. You just don't like people. Okay.
In my opinion, if a repair shop is on a signed insurance list, they are reputable.
So you look at the insurance list. Okay, you're going to be the deal breaker. Reputable or not?
Not.
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 Why?
I'm like her. I don't trust that many people.
Wow. Going inside the courtroom.
It's not difficult at all. Like most people, you can teach them about a wheel alignment in 15, 20 minutes
All right.
and
So
show
then,
them how
and
it's
then
done.
how do you align the front wheels?
And then the front wheels, usually you go to the tie rods for adjusting the toe, which is in and out. And then when you need to adjust the camber, which is vertical, you usually you adjust it. Depending on the suspension, you'll either adjust it at the base of the strut, which is your shock absorber. Some people call it the shock absorber, but it's a strut. You loosen that and you move the wheel in or out. Or sometimes you have to adjust it at the top by where the strut attaches to the chassis of the car. That's basically it.
So
Some cars you have to shim. It depends on the vehicle. Different
is it
manufacturers do different
as
things.
it turns out, in this vehicle, were all four tires touched and aligned?
Correct. Yes.
So why is he? What do you think it is?
I think he saw that it was a minimal change, but we're talking when you do a wheel alignment, you're not adjusting even visible angles. You're adjusting angles that a computer's seeing. Yeah, it seems
Stand
minuscule.
up.
Yeah, stand up. It seems minuscule, but it's not minuscule in terms of the tracking of the car. You can be off by 1/10 of a degree, and that'll make your car move 5-6 feet every 20 feet. Which, if you're driving the car, it doesn't sound like a lot when I'm saying it, but when you're driving the car and your car's shifting by 5-6 feet every 20 feet,
especially when you're going 60, 80 miles an hour.
right?
Your Honor, if
Yeah.
you look at the receipt, when I paid them and when they started the wheel alignment, I've done this about 3 times with this same company. And a wheel alignment doesn't take 10 minutes.
So on that
He
car.
says that you guys took 10 minutes.
Yeah, so you got to get the car on the lift, and you got to perform about 3-4 minutes of work on the car to get it ready for the alignment.
Okay.
Now, once it's up on the lift, you raise it all the way up, and you get under the car. Once you're under the car, you right away go to the back. On this particular vehicle, there's no adjustment in the back. So all you really do on this vehicle is just verify the height requirements that the alignment calls for. So it's supposed to be 4.5 inches off the ground or whatever the spec is.
I'm
measure
surprised
it.
you didn't throw the $40 at him and just to not have to be here.
They
I'm
weren't
stunned.
I wasn't
They
there
weren't
that day,
there.
but I probably would have.
Right.
I've got to, yeah.
Although I'm grateful because I'm learning a lot about something I will never use.
This is a lot of useful
Yet
information.
more
that a lot of people
useless
don't know.
information for me, but it's interesting.
So once you get under the car, basically, and you've done the compensation, now the only work that's remaining is doing the adjustment.
The actual adjustment.
So on his vehicle,
What's your relationship?
I'm
my son.
I'm a sales representative. I work on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and this gentleman here was here on a Thursday.
Okay.
So
this gentleman is his dad. Yeah. No,
Is this your dad?
yeah, this is my father. When I'm present, I'm the manager.
yeah, he's very businesslike. Anyway, so
I don't even know where to begin with.
I think his problem is he says it
His
took
problem
it
is
was
you
too
didn't change
short.
it enough. Like
Yeah.
he's looking at the numbers and
It
he
took
feels
too long. Yeah.
like 2 of them didn't need changing. I'm just not going to leave that up to you.
Well, I can tell you right now, +10 on the right side means it was pointing out. -10 on the left side means it was pointing in. So both his front wheels were pointing slightly right. And based on the report is he brought this back to 0 and he brought this back to 0.
Yeah, you can stop now. All right. Okay, no, we're done. Based on what I've heard, my verdict in this case is for the defendants. Good luck, folks.
Thank you. Thank you.
So the plaintiff did not prevail in this case. Mr. Campbell, does sound to me like he got a good alignment job out of it. Sounds to me like he did a good job.
They didn't do anything. It took them 10 minutes and they didn't do anything.
Well, apparently they did a quick thing.
No,
you know,
they
I'm very impressed by the fact that you were willing to file a case for $40 and go to court. A lot of people would say, oh, heck,
It
that's
was
too
the
much
principle.
trouble.
It's the principle behind it. It wasn't the money.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sorry about that. Mr. Castillo, congratulations. I must say, you're a very convincing defendant.
Thank you.
Sound like you know what you're doing. He still doesn't think anything was done.
Yeah, yeah. Some cars take longer. Some cars, you know, his particular car only has one adjustment, so it didn't take that long to do. But it doesn't mean that it's, you know, less money to do it.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right, so thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank
you
you.
must sign a few documents on your way out of court. Harvey, what do you think?
Okay, one piece of advice, Doug. When you go to an auto repair shop, put down in writing that no additional work can be done without your express authorization. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.